Hello and welcome to yet another session of Steelman's Engage 4.0 webinar series, which seeks to unravel the dynamics of the steel industry, both domestic and global. The fourth edition of Engage has witnessed in-depth deliberations on the steel and steelmaking raw materials markets in India, while also turning the spotlight on key global developments, such as the war-torn steel industry in Ukraine and the long-term impact on global trade of the EU's regulatory mechanisms to control carbon emissions. This session on India's increasing share of global ferrochrome and chrome ore market will focus not just on domestic supply-demand dynamics, but also on the outlook regarding India's growing clout in the global market. The two experts who have joined us today are Mr. Vivek, General Manager, Sales and Marketing, OMC, and Mr. Debraj Mukherjee, Assistant General Manager, National Sales, Tata Steel Mining Limited. I extend a warm welcome to both of you, sir. Mr. Nath has over 30 years of experience in the metals and mining space with private and PSU organizations such as NMDC and ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India. He has worked in multiple functions in the industry and has published more than 10 research papers on various platforms. The other expert on the panel, Mr. Mukherjee, completed his engineering from the Indian Institute of Engineering Science and Technology in 2001 and MBA from the Graduate School of Business, University of Cape Town. He has over 22 years of experience, with over 12 years out of those spent in South Africa. He has worked in various fields such as production, greenfield projects, procurement, supply chain, and logistics. Before commencing proceedings, I would like to thank the Indian Steel Association for their generous support to Engage 4.0. I now have the pleasure of inviting my colleague and co-host, Anvita Pandey, to present an overview of the domestic ferrochrome market. Hello, Anvita.
Hello, sir.
Over to you.
Thank you, Nirmalya, sir, for handing over to me. Hello, everyone. I'm going to quickly give a small overview on India's ferrochrome market. India currently has a ferrochrome production capacity of around 2 million ton. In CY22, India produced approximately 1.40 million ton of ferrochrome. Out of this, around half was consumed domestically and the other half was exported. This means that around 50% of India's total ferrochrome production is exported, mainly to China, South Korea, and Japan. In Q1 CY23, India's ferrochrome exports increased and reached up to 0.23 million ton. With the rise in exports and the planned expansion of production capacity, the future looks promising for India's chrome ore industry. The expected growth in stainless steel production, both domestically and globally, contributes to the increasing demand for chrome ore. To provide a brief overview of India's chrome ore production and outlook, we are delighted to have Mr. Vivek Nath join us in this webinar. I invite Mr. Vivek Nath to start his presentation. So over to you, Mr. Vivek Nath.
Yeah. So the topic of today's presentation is India's increasing share in global ferrochrome and chrome ore market. So I will cover the ferrochrome part. So you can go to the next slide.
Remote mute.
Yeah, now it has come. Now it has come. Okay. Yeah. So you may kindly go through the disclaimer. Yeah, this presentation is an amalgamation of data from various sources and authors' own thoughts. And my company, Tata Steel, is not responsible for any of the thought presented in this forum. So coming to next slide, this is just a global overview of chrome business, which I show in every presentation. Next slide, please, Anvita. Am I audible properly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if I see the global valuation of chrome business, this ferrochrome, which is produced from chrome ore, is mainly consumed for making stainless steel. And the main stainless steel producing countries are China, South Korea, Japan, USA, Europe, and the major ferrochrome producing nations are China, Europe, India, Japan, in descending order. So if you see this slide, India produces 1.3 million ton of ferrochrome, out of which 0.6 million ton is consumed in-house and almost 0.7 million ton is exported to various nations. So these are CY22 data, and total production of world's total ferrochrome production is 15.3 million ton. This is the market. This is the market, and production is around 14 million ton. You can go to the next slide. Yeah. So ferrochrome is mainly consumed for making stainless steel. So I just tried to plot the stainless steel growth over the last 10 years in various countries and in the globe. So you can see that the globe's stainless steel production has grown from 2013 till 2022 at the rate of 5%. India grew at the rate of 4.3%, China 7.6%. There is a huge growth in Indonesia because it was not there in the market before 2016. So in 2016, it came in the market, and its production of stainless steel has grown multifold and reached almost 5 million ton in 22. There is a bit of degrowth seen in countries such as Japan, South Korea, Europe, and USA. This is the stainless steel scenario of the globe of various key important countries over the last 10 years. Next slide, please. So supporting the previous slide, if you see the global consumption of ferrochrome, it also increased in those countries where stainless steel production increased. You can see that global consumption of ferrochrome increased by 5%, China 9%, India 4%, whereas in countries such as Japan, US, Europe, the consumption decreased because of lower stainless steel production. So the second slide is just showing that the trend is following the first slide. Ferrochrome consumption is following the trend of stainless steel production of various countries. Next slide, please. Now, here actually straightway I'm coming to the future outlook of stainless steel, which is predicted by various experts. So it is saying that globe's growth in next 5 years expected to be 3%, where USA will be 5%, Europe 2%, Japan 2%, China 4%, India is also in the range of 4 to 5%. So this is what is the growth of stainless steel forecasted. So entire ferrochrome, mostly 95% ferrochrome is consumed for making stainless steel. So I am just giving the export, import, and domestic production of stainless steel figures of India. So if you see this slide, next slide, please. Yeah, if you see this slide, the domestic production of, these are all CY22 data. So domestic production of stainless steel, India's production of stainless steel is 3.7 million ton, where India imported almost 1 million ton and exported 0.6 million ton. So net consumption of stainless steel in India is close to 4 million ton, little more than 4 million ton. So below that, there are two important graphs where you can see that the export of stainless steel by India is hovering around 0.6 million, 0.6, 0.7 million, whereas the import in India has increased significantly. It is mainly because from 2022, the countervailing duty, which is almost to the tune of 19%, has been removed. So the import barrier has been removed, and which actually helped in increasing the stainless steel import in India. So it reached almost 1 million ton from 0.7 million ton in 22. And if the countervailing duty, there are talks going on, if the countervailing duty is reimposed, then obviously this import figure will come down, and hopefully the domestic production of stainless steel will increase. So this is a very important thing which we all need to understand. Now, next slide. Yeah. So here actually I just tried to show the export figures of ferrochrome from India. So India, in the first slide, I have shown that India produces almost 1.3 million ton of ferrochrome. Out of that, 0.6 million ton is consumed in-house roughly, and 0.7 million ton is exported. So if you see the ferrochrome export figures of India, earlier I was talking about stainless steel, now I have come to ferrochrome. So in 2012, till 2000. Yeah. Is my screen? Am I visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you see the stainless steel export figures, the ferrochrome export figures from 2012 till 2016, it was hovering in the range of 0.5 to 0.6 million ton. But in 2017, it increased to 0.8 million ton. And it continued like that till 2019. In 2020, the export of ferrochrome has come down to 0.6 million ton, mainly because of COVID reasons. After then, it increased to 0.7 million ton because India is recovering from the COVID slowdowns. And recently, in CY23 till April, the export figure is 0.3 million ton. So which we are going at the rate of 0.9 million ton. So basically, so to say, from 2023 onward, the ferrochrome export figure is increasing and more material is going for exports. Anvita, you can go to next slide.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. So here, if you see, the India's export of ferrochrome to various countries is being shown, the breakup. So if you see the history from 2018 till 2023, the ferrochrome export of from India to China is decreasing little bit. So which is actually compensated by Indonesia, because we all know that Chinese ferrochrome giant Tsingshan set up a plant in Indonesia, and lot of ferrochrome across the globe is going to Indonesia. From India as well, it is going. So from 2018 till 2022, you see China's reduction in ferrochrome imports from India is being compensated by Indonesia. If you see the second bar is South Korea. So South Korea's ferrochrome import from India has been it has got a reducing trend, mainly because the South Korean stainless steel giant POSCO, they reduced production, thus consumption of ferrochrome. Coming to the third one is Japan. In Japan also, ferrochrome export has got a reducing trend from 18 till 22. Little bit reduction is there. It's because of the slowdown of Japanese economy, and it is because of the slowdown of the Japanese economy, their stainless steel production, special steel production has reduced to some extent, and thus the consumption of ferrochrome is reduced. Now, coming to Europe, Europe is India's exposure to Europe is quite less. It's not much, and over the years it did not increase much. Coming to the last one, United States. So it is to be noted that in 2018-19, India used to export some quantity, reasonable quantity of ferrochrome to United States, but over the year it reduced. It is mainly because this Ryan's note is very, very fluctuating in nature, and 2019, the Ryan's note prices fell down significantly, and it went below the cost of production, because of which many Indian companies decided to withdraw from the US business. And in 2020, because of the COVID outbreak, the ocean freights increased humongously. So because of that reason, exporting to US was also not viable economically. So because of those reasons, slowdown has been expected. So for Indian export of ferrochrome to United States is concerned. But going forward, I expect it to increase because the ocean freight and those things has come down to normal. And be it Europe, be it USA, where ocean freights increased humongously, which was affecting the net realization, is not affecting anymore. Now the ocean freight is quite normal. So this is the reason India's export to Europe has increased in 23. And in US also, people are trying to export to get better margins. Yeah. So next slide, please. Yeah. So Anvita, here you can see that stainless steel production facilities in the pipeline.
Yes.
So Jindal is talking about 1 million ton expansion, which is going to complete in 2025. Rajputana Steel is talking about 60,000 ton expansion expected to complete by 2023. And Satyam Steel Stainless is talking about 180,000 ton expansion, again going to complete in 2023. Avtar Steel is talking about 120,000 ton expansion. These are my own data from market. Is going to complete in 2023. So in nutshell, nearly 1.36 million ton stainless steel expansion is in the pipeline, which is supposed to come by 2025. So to produce 1.36 million ton stainless steel, if I go back to the ratio of stainless steel production versus ferrochrome consumption in India, it is almost 6:1 ratio. So you need little more than 200,000, meaning 2 lakh tons. You need little more than 2 lakh tons of some photo is appearing here from WhatsApp. I don't know. Just remove it. So to produce 1.36 million ton of stainless steel, you need almost little more than 200,000 tons of ferrochrome. So let's see whether India's expansions are supporting or not. So Anvita, go to the next slide. Yeah. So here you see the ferrochrome production facilities in pipeline is almost 360,000 ton. Packard is talking about 60,000 tons expansion. Our Tata Steel Mining Limited, our company is going to expand almost at the rate of 100,000 ton per year from 24 onwards. IMFA is talking about 100,000 ton expansion going to complete by 2025. Jindal is talking about another 100,000 expansion going to complete by end of 24. So nearly 360,000 ton ferrochrome expansions are in the pipeline. So that India's increase in stainless steel production needs little more than 200,000, but India is going to produce 360,000. So 160,000 tons of ferrochrome will be extra, and which has to be exported because there is no other way to place this ferrochrome in the market. After fulfilling India's demand, the excess capacity of ferrochrome will be around 160,000. Better to say excess production of ferrochrome will be 160,000, and that will be exported to various nations. Anvita, you can go to next slide. Yeah. So here, when we talk about exporting to various nations, let us look at the prices. So here, I just, from my own experience, I just tried to give the prices. These all are linked with various indices. Like, for example, European price is linked with European benchmark. Japanese price is linked with Japanese benchmark. India prices obviously have taken Steel Mint's price, which is the most very authentic publication. And for China, I have taken the tender price of Xinjiang, which is a representative of China prices. So they are applying the actual ocean freight and various other factors. I tried to brought it down to ex-plant levels so that it is a like-to-like comparison. Because in Europe, materials are sold at DDP. As per the input DDP, material is sold. So it is not comparable with the ex-plant price or CIF price at which material is sold in China. So because of that reason, I tried to brought all the prices in the same level, which is ex-plant level. So if you see this graph from CY15 till CY23, the top one is Japan. So it is showing that most of the time, Anvita, am I audible properly?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you see here, the top bar, the highest price, if you see the on an average, the highest price giver is Japan. Yes. Yeah. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir. Please
Hello?
continue.
Yeah. So in this graph, it is clearly visible that the highest premium price is received in Japan most of the time, followed by Europe, the second blue line, followed by India, followed by China. So the target of the wish of every producer, every Indian producer, is to sell as much product as possible in Japan, followed by Europe, followed by India, and whatever is not sold in those geographies, in premium geographies and all, the least price giver is China. So whatever cannot be sold in other geographies, that product basically goes to China. So this is what is the common understanding. So here I just wanted to mention that entering into Japan and entering into Europe is not so easy. Like the product that we produce, Indian grade ferrochrome, it is well appreciated in India and in China. But Indian grade ferrochrome, which contain 4% silicon, chrome is 60%, phos is a bit high. So those products are not preferred by geographies like USA and Europe. USA and Europe, they look for low silicon ferrochrome, which is basically produced by Kazakhstan. They got an affinity for charged chrome as well, which is produced by South Africa. It has got free iron. So they got a preference for charged chrome and Kazakh grade ferrochrome. So to enter into those geographies with our existing product portfolio, it is quite difficult. So many Indian producers have switched production and they are producing low silicon ferrochrome to enter into those geographies, and they are successful as well. And this low silicon ferrochrome is sold at a premium price. So to get more share of business in premium geographies such as Japan, US, and Europe, so we need to modify our product. We need to produce lower silicon, low phos products to get more share of business in those geographies. The product that we produce, the generic grade product, it can be consumed in those premium geographies, but it cannot be increased beyond certain extent. So that is the message I just want to give. And this is, you can go to the next slide. These are my own analysis, not my analysis, is a team analysis of our consultant and us as well. So if you see the various markets, each and every market got a different nature. If you see China, China is the huge consumer of ferrochrome. Total market is almost 8 million ton. Out of that 3 million ton, 2 to 3 million ton is imported. The market is very much fragmented. 80% of demand is fulfilled by top 10 customers, and there are small mills which produces balance 20%. This typically China sets the best price in the globe. That is the best price. And China doesn't have much preference of charged chrome or Kazakh grade ferrochrome over Indian grade ferrochrome. So this is a safe destination for our product. And Chinese prices are mostly linked with bow steel tender price. They like CIF shipment, which is easy to handle. The sales are happening through LC, which is preferable by the sellers. And they like both spot and long term. Coming to Europe, Europe market is completely different. Europe market is 1.2 million ton, out of which almost 500,000 ton is being imported. This market is very much consolidated. Top 4 players produces 80% of the demand. Balance 45 other small players produces 20%. So Europe generally gives premium. The premium varies from 2 to 8 cent, 10 cent. It's just a general figure I have mentioned. They got a preference for Kazakh grade ferrochrome and South African charged chrome over Indian grade ferrochrome. So Indian import, although it is increasing recently because of low silicon production, but over the years, it has been at a very low levels. And European price is linked with European benchmark, and they need DDP shipment. The material has to reach their premises. CIF is not acceptable mostly, and they look for credit, and they prefer long-term contract. Spot market is very less, so entry barriers are there in Europe. Getting entry in Europe is not a very easy task. Coming to Japan, Japan is 500,000 ton is the market. It is top 4 players are producing 73% of the requirement, and Japan is the most premium market. Probably gives the highest ever price. They also got preference for Kazakh grade ferrochrome and South African grade ferrochrome, but Indian grade ferrochrome also they consume to the extent of 10 to 15%. Their prices are linked with Japanese benchmark, which is linked with European benchmark. The good thing is that they accept CIF shipment and they accept spot also, but they prefer long term. So entry is a bit tough. Korea is almost like China. Korea is a single player, POSCO, who dominates the market. They give little premium compared to China. They also prefer long-term contract over spot. Sometimes they go in the market, but it is very occasional. And they prefer both charge chrome and Indian grade ferrochrome. That difficulty is not there. Lastly, US is also a premium market, but sometimes it gives very low prices. So it is all Ryan's not linked prices. Sometimes prices go up heavily, sometimes prices come down. Very fluctuating market. We have seen in the last couple of years, the market, Ryan's note went up to 400 units, and Ryan's note fell also to the extent of 70 units. So very fluctuating market, and they got a very much preference for Kazakh grade ferrochrome and charge chrome. Indian grade ferrochrome is not really acceptable over there, but with efforts, with improving the product quality, in the sense by improving the parameters, we can sell. We sold some quantity in US, but at smaller levels, and they are strictly long term. Their spot preference is very, very less. They like long term contracts. So considering all these things, in nutshell, I would like to say that India got excess capacity, so India needs to export. Even after considering the increase in stainless steel production by India will still, India's expansion of ferrochrome projects are much more. So after 2025, India will be left with, even after catering to the need of increased stainless steel production, India will still have additional ferrochrome to sell. So export, in a way, is going to increase. And I have shown in the earlier slide that global growth is also expected, stainless steel production at the rate of 3%. So the world can accommodate the increased production, I believe. And obviously, from price viewpoint, from considering various other techno-commercial issues, the first preference, obviously, for any exporter would be Japan, followed by Europe, USA, then India, and then lastly China, because China is the so far price is concerned, China sets the best level. Sometimes fluctuations happen. Sometimes Chinese prices go up above Europe or Japan, but generally it is the lowest possible price. And domestic market almost follow China. So domestic prices are also a little better than China, but almost in the same levels. So that is what is my understanding. Thanks, Anjita.
Thank you, Devraj sir, for your insightful presentation. Now I would like to invite Mr. Viveknath sir for his presentation. So I'm going to share your presentation, sir.
Okay, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. Please share my presentation.
Yes, sir. Sir, my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible. Thank you very much. Thank you, the audience, and my co-panelist. He has covered the entire world very, 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 very effectively and very eloquently. And really, there is not much left for me to further describe. But still, I will try to attempt, maybe from the mining side, I would like to cover some part of it. And let's go to the next slide. As you may be aware, India, the next slide is we have about in the world about global chromite reserve is 565 million ton. As we are aware, it is mostly covered by Kazakhstan, South Africa, and Turkey, India. However, the entire export market is mostly covered by of chromite ore is mostly covered by South Africa, followed by Turkey, Zimbabwe, others. Turkey, they are facing some problem as far as ferrochrome export is concerned, but their chrome ore export is continuing. We are aware, Odisha, all the chrome ore is deposit is concentrated in the state of Odisha, which commands about 96%. And out of the total reserve of 102 million ton, we have about 65% usable grade, metallurgical grade. Rest all is beneficial grade. And next is the EC capacity. EC capacity is about 5.14 million ton at present, mostly commanded by Tata Steel and OMC, 2.84 and 1.76, followed by Insa and Factor. The next slide shows the share of chromite production. It's again dominated by Tata Steel and followed by which commands almost 50% of the chromite production, followed by OMC, which commands about 30%. The bar chart shows that there is a declining trend in the chrome ore production. That is because of the fact that there is a limit by which you can extract the ore through open cast process, and there is a need for us to go for either opening new mines or converting the existing open cast mines to underground mines, so that our production is maintained in line with the projected demand scenario. The next slide shows chromite consumption by industry. I need not elaborate much. Devras has covered very eloquently. Ferroalloys is the main consumption product, product from the chrome ore. The global ferrochrome market is currently about $17 billion, going to grow at 5.1% to $24 billion, and global ferrochrome market is mostly dictated by China, being the largest stainless steel producers. India's rank is a little low. It is almost the second largest steel producer, but over a period of time, Indonesia is catching up. Major ferrochrome producers in the world are Glencore, Samancor, JSL in India, YNC, Kazchrome from Kazakhstan. And ferrochrome producers in India are Fakar, Infa, Jindal, JSL. Demand is mainly from real estate, from stainless steel utensils, engineering goods. It's increasing. Let's go to the next slide. Out of the total production of about 1.5 million ton of Anvita, previous slide, please. Next to that. Yeah. So out of the total production of about 1.5 million ton, almost 50% gets exported by India, and consumption of ferrochrome is mostly concentrated in stainless steel, special alloy steel, ball bearing steel, tool steel. Mostly it is in the realm of flats and longs, which is shown by the next slide. Come to the next slide. Yeah, the exports are mostly happening. I think there is some mismatch in the. Go to next. Next. Yeah. This is the main slide. We were mentioning the main consumption of ferrochrome occurs, or chrome ore occurs in production of stainless steel. Stainless steel, while world over, is slated to increase at 3.4%. In India, it is slated to increase at 6.27%, leading from a present level of 4 million ton to almost 19-20 million ton by 2047. This alone will require a ferrochrome consumption of 3.85 million ton by CY 2047 and chrome ore production of 9.64 million ton. The chart at the bottom left shows that by CY 2047, we will be requiring 12.5 million ton of chrome ore demand out of the total steel, stainless steel and other sectors put together. Next slide, Anvita. Yeah, this is the slide which shows that against the current installed capacity of about 2 million ton of ferrochrome, which Devras has eloquently said that it is going to be expanding in the near future. So by 2032, we will be crossing the 5.14 level EC, what we are having today, which means by 2035, we need to open about 12 to 13 new mines or convert the existing open pit mines to the underground mines. That is how we are going to take care of the growing demand of chrome ore and ferrochrome in India. So by 2047, that is how we are going to be able to meet the demand of 12.5 million ton by 2047. There need to be about 12 to 13 new mines to be opened. As far as OMC is concerned, we are on the way. We have already opened one new underground mines, that is Bangur mines. Of course, the dispatch level has already started, but at a very, very slow level. And we are in the process of opening, converting our existing South Kalia mines, Kalupani mines to underground. So we are on the way to take care of the India's total demand. That's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivek sir, for your presentation. Nirmalya sir, could you please take over the webinar?
Yes, thank you so much. So we have a few questions for the two experts from here. So, of course, very insightful presentations both. So the first question that, of course, because we are dwelling on the global level right now. So the first question for both panelists, I'll come to I'll come to Devraj sir first. So how has the Turkey earthquake impacted the global ferrochrome trade flows? And how do you see things going forward, sir?
Thanks, Mr. Nirmalya Dev. First of all, my thanks to Viveknath sir for the nice presentation, insightful presentation. Thank you, sir. This Turkey earthquake has definitely got an impact, and from Turkey, majority of ferrochrome is going to US and Europe. So currently, I got a feeling that currently this Indian export of ferrochrome to US and Europe, okay, is facilitated by that incident. Because of that incident, the export from Turkey to US and Europe, okay, has come down to some extent, and that actually facilitated the ferrochrome trade to such countries. So it has got an impact on the global business, mainly the business that India is having with US and Europe. Yes. That is what my observation is.
So actually, you're saying that it has created a small window of opportunity for India, because
I believe so.
So one related question I wanted to ask you, because here we are discussing about the increasing role of India in global trade. So, of course, you have spoken about the difficulties of entering geographies like the US and the EU and others, while acceptance is still there in China and mainly other Asian countries. So, sir, the threat of China's backward integration both in Indonesia and Africa. So, how is that a long-term threat for India in expanding its market presence in ferrochrome?
See, Mr. Nimalya, this threat is of course there because China is the largest consumer of ferrochrome in the globe. So out of the total ferrochrome produced in the globe, 14 million ton, China consumes 8 million ton. So 6 million ton, 5 to 6 million ton own production, and 2 to 3 million ton they import. So obviously, if China goes for backward integration by producing ferrochrome production facilities in Africa and in other countries, well, obviously it is going to affect the ferrochrome trade. But that will have, I mean, it will not affect the chrome ore trade, but obviously it will have an impact on the ferrochrome trade because in that case, the entire ferrochrome produced may not be able to sold in the market. Like South Africa's 50% of South Africa's production goes to China. So if China does not need those ferrochrome, then of course the South Africa will have to, probably India also. India is a small player in the market, mainly South Africa and Kazakh, they are the major players. So they might have to cut down ferrochrome production. That is my view is. But obviously, it will not affect the whole business. The whole demand will remain like that.
Yes, Anita?
Okay, my next question is to Viveknath sir. What is your outlook on Indian chrome ore and ferrochrome prices? What key components are driving the production costs of these commodities?
Yeah. We are seeing a surge in demand. Just now I was discussing with few of my customers. We are seeing presently a surge in demand. The prices have also a little bit increased compared to the last month's price. And of course, because there is no upstick in China's steel demand. It is going to be not very much like in upward trajectory, but it will not go down at much also. It will remain in the range of above 1 lakh, 1,05,000 rupee level, which is quite a healthy level as far as pricing goes. The prices are basically the costing of ferrochrome producers is mainly on account of ferrochrome, and the second is power cost. Power cost, what I get sense from the market is that power cost has been stable at 6.25 or 6.2 rupee per unit. So that is what is like helping them out. And the coke prices internationally is going down, which is what is at looking from OMC perspective, which is what is leading to a surge in demand. In fact, and we have introduced a very scientific pricing policy whereby the prices are aligned with the market. And last 1 year, we have seen that there is a lot of demand has come for OMC ore, and our entire old stocks have been depleted. So that is how, from OMC perspective, it's quite healthy, and the prices are going to remain even in more than 1 lakh rupee per ton scenario.
Okay. Thank you for the answer, sir.
Yes, sir. Vivek sir, just a minute, Anita. In fact, I have a question for Vivek sir. So, Vivek sir correctly said that demand for chrome ore, maybe prices will stay firm because, of course, there is we can see some kind of a supply tightness in the market. Also, if we see that maybe auction volumes, OMC auction volumes, have increased in May and a little bit in April also, but if we see February, March volumes really low. So, sir, actually, Vivek sir, I wanted to ask you about OMC's allocation in auctions. So, why is it a little erratic? I mean, what are the priorities for OMC in deciding allocation for auctions?
You're talking of iron ore auction or chrome ore auction?
Sir, I am talking about chrome ore, sir. Yes.
Chrome ore auction, we are keeping the same volume. Almost it is fixed. Rather, this time we have increased the volume for high grade chrome ore. Yes, there was some, as I told you, the last year we got our old stock sold off. So in the month of February and March, there was less volume that was put in the market, and as the production picked up, now our volumes are quite okay. So if at all you are referring to that, then February, March, and April, yes, there was less volume that was put in the market because of our old stocks getting sold and new production started to pick up from April. And now it's all fine, I think so. Please.
Yes, sir. No, actually, sir, what we wanted to understand that what is the basis on which the total auction volume is decided? I mean, like, how is it decided that how much of volume is going to be auctioned in a particular
Basis is simple. It's we are governed by the LTL policy of Government of Odisha. We save that up to 20% of the available saleable stock needs to be put in the e-auction limited to our evacuation capacity. There is a limit by which daily evacuation can take place, but we are seeing, like, when about 1.5 years back, we were able to sell out about 3,500 to 4,200 tons per day. Now, in the recent past, it has touched to more than 10,500. So we have improved our evacuation level, and we stick to the policy of 20% allocation for e-auction allocation.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Yeah, Anvita?
Yeah, my next question is to Devraj sir. The vast majority of India's ferrochrome production is high carbon ferrochrome. However, we have recently seen low carbon ferrochrome production coming up with few companies. How can you explain these new trends, sir? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sorry. How can I explain what you...
This new trend, sir, like high carbon ferrochrome production is coming up with new companies. Sorry, low carbon ferrochrome production.
Yeah, I appreciate this. It's a good move. And this low carbon ferrochrome market across the globe is very small. Like, be it high carbon got a big market. High carbon Indian ferrochrome is sold in big quantities. Charge chrome is sold in very big quantities. Kazakh chrome is also sold in very big quantities. But this low carbon ferrochrome market is a very niche market, and it is a very small market. So I appreciate the move, because the more the domestic producers will come up with variety of products which can fetch better premium. So it is good. It is good. So that is what appreciating. But market is very small, and it is not that you can sell huge quantity in this market. So that is what my observation is. But prices, obviously, there is a good amount of premium. So if you can find a place in the market, in the low carbon market, one should produce. But there are investments as well.
Okay. One more question I wanted to ask you, sir. Sukinda is said to have nearly exhausted its deposit for open cast mining, and only underground reserves are available. Till when could open cast mining be carried on Sukinda? What is the time frame for starting underground mining? What are Tata Steel's ferrochrome capacity expansion plans in the coming years, and by when will you need to go underground mining?
See, this is a good question, a technical question. I do not have a proper answer for this. So if you give me some time, I can talk to the mining people, our mining people, and I can respond over email or something.
No problem, sir. Nirmalya sir, over to you.
Yes, actually, yes. So, Mr. Mukherjee, yes, we know. And Tata was also collaborating with Jindal on this. And maybe going underground in Sukinda is required to ramp up volumes. So we are very eagerly waiting for details on that. Anyway, so I have a question for Vivek sir now. Vivek sir, you said that OMC is going underground, even in the Bangur mines and everything. So I was just trying to ask you, sir, whether OMC is mining lumpy ore from Bangur or only friable fines?
No. Bangur ore characteristic is lumpy ore, and we are getting all the three products: lumps, chips, and fines. While we are getting the small quantity of lump and chips from Bangur, our long-term plan says that we are getting the South Kalyapani mines converted to underground working, maybe the target period should be 27 to 28, as against, in order to meet the increased demand that we are showing, we are seeing that by 2032, Indian ferrochrome demand or chrome ore demand will surpass the existing EC capacity. So we need to increase in India. We need to increase the production of chrome ore before that. So we are taking a long-term view. Within next 5 years, our South Kalia mines should start producing through underground route.
Yes, sir. In fact, that is an important piece of news. Yes, and I mean, Devrat sir, so a member of the audience wants to know, so this, I must put the question to you, that about cost of production. So if you could give us, some details about the cost of India's ferrochrome production and some comparison with other markets. Devrat sir, you're on.
Yeah, thanks.
You were on mute, sir. Yes, please carry on.
Yeah. Basically, so far cost of production is concerned, I know one thing. Kazakh is the lowest in the world. So they are blessed with low cost, low price ore. They're blessed with lower priced power and good quality reducted at cheap prices. So Kazakh's ferrochrome cost of production is the lowest in the world. And obviously after that it is South Africa. South Africa is also a bit lower than India and China. So India's cost of production has increased heavily it increased, and probably India at this point of time is more than China. I believe so, because of the high ore cost and all. So India's cost of production is quite high. If I do a comparative study, India's power cost is also increasing. It increased. Ore cost, because of high bid premium and royalty, the ore costs are also quite high. The ore price is high in the market. So far cost of production is concerned, so far ferrochrome business is concerned, India's cost of production is not really put India into a good position. So cost of productions are quite high. That is the reason actually it demands higher prices in the market.
I mean, sir, could you give us a rough idea? I mean, about the percentage of cost for power, for raw materials, in total production cost of ferrochrome?
I just need to do a quick calculation. So let me just see. Cost of the chrome ore. Chrome ore prices fluctuate heavily. So I would say that roughly, let me do my own calculations. Roughly 30%. 30% is ore cost. Roughly 30% is the ore cost, and power cost would be roughly 15%. So almost power and ore together is 50 to 60% roughly.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Anvita?
Sir, I guess this was the last question which we could accommodate due to time constraint. So we will have to end this webinar. So could you please take this webinar ahead?
Yes, thank you. So I'm sorry to say that we are running behind the clock. And with that, we have to close today's session. My heartfelt thanks to both panelists for sharing their valuable insights with us. Thanks a lot, Anvita, for your support. And thanks once again to Indian Steel Association for their generous support to Engage 4.0. From here on, thank you and goodbye.